see. Yeah, sure. They cannot use your judgment.
Generally agree that monetary policy was not the main reason for the housing bubble.
What are you, nuts? Of course monetary policy was the reason for the housing bubble. That's Ben Bernanke. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. He's lying. Listen to this. In December 2000, interest rates were 6.5%. Within the next 30 months, Bernanke dropped them down to 1%. Because of that, mortgage originations grew from 1.5 trillion to 5 trillion. That was by the end of 2003. The housing bubble was inflated, and it was continued being fueled by his policies, which eventually we saw mortgages that grew from 28 trillion mortgage to 50 trillion. He lied. But here's the important thing. We were able to take advantage of that here at Phil's Gang, and we were able to make money because of it. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, everybody, the hot stocks Apple or Google, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What people don't understand is every stock is the same. If the institutions buy it, it goes up. If they don't, it goes down. It doesn't matter the name. That's why we use charts to identify money in, money out. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything will be taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com, Phil's Gang Radio Show. You know, we just went through a 1,900-point stock market drop, fastest drop ever in 2 days. Most of you panicked. At Phil's Gang, we didn't look at it as a crash. We looked at it as an opportunity because we were short. Why? Because I was able to teach my students how to read a chart, so in advance, they would know that the market was going to go down. It's all about learning. It's always amazed me, our whole life. Someone teaches us to play baseball. Someone teaches us to ski. Someone teaches us how to drive a car. But there's nobody there to teach you how to invest in a stock. And that's where I come in. I think I have the best teaching format in the country. Check it out. It's philsgang.com. So you'll be so comfortable. You don't care if the market's going down or the market's going up. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, many people left the stock market after the crash, and here's why.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
And that's still going on. That's your planner. They don't represent you. They represent themselves, your money manager. But you have to make a change. You can't change them. You make the change. Join my gang, philsgang.com, so that we can take care of you. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
From the perspective of the U.S. economy, I think we've seen continuing signs of strength.
Continuing signs of strength? What are you, nuts? Household spending dropped to its lowest level since 2008. Retail sales dropped to its lowest level in 9 years. Wages to its lowest level in 30 years. Disposable income to its lowest level in 40 years. Home ownership to its lowest level in 30 years. What's he talking about? That's Jack Lew, our Treasury Secretary. We can't trust anything that comes out of Washington or Wall Street. And that's why I want you to join Phil's Gang. My name is Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Well, the reason you stay away from the stock market because you're fearful, because no one has taught you how to invest. You go to school to learn how to do math. You go to school to learn how to drive. Why don't you go to school to learn how to invest using charts? Join my gang, philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. What is Phil's Gang? Phil'sGang.com is a subscription website service that host Phil Grande has been teaching and providing daily stock investment recommendations for over 15 years, all in the name of making its customers educated investors and helping the kids at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you want to take charge of your financial future, then do not wait any longer. For only $49.95, become a Phil's Gang member today. Go to Phil'sGang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
That this might be the time that he crossed the line finally. You and I have been together laughing at people that have been predicting his impending doom because of one overreach or another. But actually, last night, you actually came to the conclusion, okay, this may be what finally does it for.
No, it's not going to do it. Unbelievable. Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. It is not going to do it. What they're saying is we hope it will do it. It's not going to do it because he's telling the truth. And even though that doesn't sound cool, what he said, it's not politically correct. A lot of people are going to say, oh, he should have never said that. But under their breath or in secret, they're saying to themselves, boy, I wish I could say that. I told you many times that until the clerics stand up and point out in these mosques, these terrorists, who they are, give them to the FBI or whoever, that you got to do the same thing we did with Japan, with all the Japanese Americans. You had to put them in an encampment, internment camp. And what was wrong with that? Because you got to, if you don't know who the enemy is, so I don't think that's going to hurt him. But there's something more important about this. You know, we talk about terrorism. When is America going to wake up and realize that terrorism is a homegrown industry that supports the giant U.S. arms industry and our politicians? When Obama realized that terrorism no longer boosts oil prices, then Obama decided to boost terrorism. When are Americans going to wake up and connect the dots? Obama, like George Bush, are just puppets, just pawns. The players in funding and arming these Islamic terrorists are the elitist Wall Street groups. The Carlyle Group, Booz Allen Hamilton Group, the House of Saud, the bin Laden family, the Bush family, and now the Clinton family. Both Bill Clinton and Bush Sr., very active, well, when Bush Sr. was healthy, at the Carlyle Group. Simply put, the more terrorism means the more arms sales by U.S. arms companies. Not only to our own military, but to the world. Look, the oil industry is falling apart. If oil drops below $37, the stock market could collapse. Today was interesting. It dropped below $37 for just a few minutes. And then the plunger team came in and pushed it right back up. Because they can't let the oil industry collapse. They can't let the oil industry collapse. It was amazing to watch. They pushed it right back up. Because, see, the oil industry is gone. We don't have anything left. We have nothing left. This whole stock market rally wasn't based on companies' earnings or their growth. It was all painted on printing money, giving it to these companies, taking the money, putting it into the stock market to push these stocks up. Just amazing. Had nothing to do with earnings. So this is the last company. This is the last group, the oil sector. If the oil sector, our manufacturing totally gone. If the oil sector, which controls 40% of, or provides 40% of our employees in this country, is gone, and it's getting annihilated with these prices, Obama realized he's got to boost terrorism. So Americans have got to wake up. They got to connect the dots. They got to connect the dots. Obama had the CIA spend around $1 billion a year on arming and funding ISIS and Al-Qaeda terrorists. Obama also had the CIA supply millions of dollars in U.S. manufactured arms to the Saudis, who then supplied it to Al-Qaeda terrorists in Libya, and those same arms to overthrow Gaddafi. And then these same arms found their way to Benghazi, killing 4 Americans, 2 were Navy SEALs. Americans need to wake up. Obama visited, I may have the name wrong, Radaya, paying tribute to the largest funders of Islamic extremist terrorism in the world. Why would he do that? Why would he go to the Middle East and visit the largest funders of Islamic extremist terrorists in the world if he wasn't into terrorism as an industry? Now, Obama, through the CIA, supports Saudi Arabia in their funding, recruitment, training, and arming wannabe terrorist groups. That means the more terrorists that they develop, that means more jobs here at home in the arm industry. And with the oil industry going to hell, they need to grow the terrorist industry. It's a huge industry. Huge money in this industry. He needs the arm industry to flourish, to take up the slack in the lost GDP economic growth due to the declining oil industry. Oil fell below $37 today. So I just told you. To $36.64 for the first time since 2009. And the Dow fell immediately. Boom, 125 points. Right straight down. 2 minutes. Bam. Until the plunger team came in, purchased oil contracts, run it right back up above 37, and then it ran the market back up. Think about this. It went down 125 points to the market within minutes, not even minutes, seconds, of oil breaking 37. That's a big impact on energy firms. Oil under 37 is a huge impact on energy firms. In fact, the benefit to consumers we always hear about in the way of lower gasoline prices is not even noticeable compared to the huge losses in economic output among our oil companies and all the related businesses. such as suppliers and service providers and workers and lenders, and how about investors? So we're going to have, because of the declines of all these related businesses, like suppliers and service providers and so forth, we'll have a decline in 2015 of $150 billion because of oil price collapse. But we're also going to increase those losses about $400 billion because of other areas of our economy. It's the multiplier effect. So America needs to wake up. When everybody comments on how, the president spoke on Sunday, who cares? Some wanted a John Wayne type of kick your arse kind of speech. Others wanted a Peter Pan. And then Trump tells the truth. Who cares? This is all about the arms industry, because oil is going down. We'll be right back after this break. Take a look at some oil stocks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's been taken care of. We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Do you think gold is money?
No.
Gold's not money? You got to be kidding. That's Ron Paul asking Ben Bernanke. And of course, Ben Bernanke lied. Of course, gold is money. But here's what he doesn't want you to know. They've been suppressing gold, trying to push gold down, because it competes with the dollar. The Federal Reserve doesn't sell gold. They sell dollars. Gold competes. Gold will dictate in a free market where interest rates should be. That's the last thing they want, because they manipulate interest rates. Now, has your broker told you that? Has your planner told you that? No. Well, I told my gang that. I explained it to them, and we positioned ourselves to be in a perfect position for gold and copper as it dropped. That's why you want to join my gang, Phil's Gang. We're right on top of this. philsgang.com. Join today. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Every day we read in the paper or we hear on radio or TV how the market is rigged. So what? It's rigged to go up, not to go down. This market hasn't pulled back 10%, not 10% since 2011, and you're not in this market. You want the market to be rigged. All you got to know is when to get out before it blows up. That's why you become a gang member, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com, Phil's Gang Radio Show. We just went through a 1,900-point stock market drop, fastest drop ever in 2 days. Most of you panicked. At Phil's Gang, we didn't look at it as a crash. We looked at it as an opportunity because we were short. Why? Because I was able to teach my students how to read a chart, so in advance they would know that the market was going to go down. It's all about learning. It's always amazed me, our whole life, someone teaches us to play baseball, someone teaches us to ski, someone teaches us how to drive a car, but there's nobody there to teach you how to invest in a stock, and that's where I come. I think I have the best teaching format in the country. Check it out. It's philsgang.com. So you'll be so comfortable, you don't care if the market's going down or the market's going up. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. Remember, on May 29th and July 28th, I said to short the market. The market was going to experience a correction. How did I know? My PT2. Check it out. This is not a crash for us. We're experiencing a correction because we are now making money on our stocks because we're shorting it, using our PT2 identified for us when they were pulling their money out, both in May and July, and we were right there to pull our money out too. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG.
From the perspective of the U.S. economy, I think we've seen continuing signs of strength.
Continuing signs of strength? What are you, nuts? Household spending dropped to its lowest level since 2008. Retail sales dropped to its lowest level in 9 years. Wages to its lowest level in 30 years. Disposable income to its lowest level in 40 years. Home ownership to its lowest level in 30 years. What's he talking about? That's Jack Lew, our Treasury Secretary. We can't trust anything that comes out of Washington or Wall Street. And that's why I want you to join Phil's Gang. My name is Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Well, the reason you stay away from the stock market because you're fearful, because no one has taught you how to invest. You go to school to learn how to do math. You go to school to learn how to drive. Why don't you go to school to learn how to invest using charts? Join my gang, philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
What if it is finally realized that war and military spending is always destructive to the economy? What if all wartime spending is paid for through the deceitful and evil process of inflating and borrowing? What if we finally see that wartime conditions always undermine personal liberty? What if conservatives who preach small government wake up and realize that our interventionist foreign policy provides the greatest incentive to expand the government? What if conservatives understood once again that their only logical position is to reject military intervention in managing an empire throughout the world? What if the American people woke up and understood that the official reasons for going to war are almost always based on lies and promoted by war propaganda in order to serve special interests? What if we as a nation came to realize that the quest for empire eventually destroys all great nations?
And how true is that? Welcome back to Phil's Gang. That's Ron Paul. And that's why I say Americans need to wake up. When Obama realized that terrorism no longer boosts oil prices, do you remember any time there was a terrorist attack? Do you remember back then? Oil would shoot up, go right through the roof. Remember? No longer. No longer. So he had to boost terrorism. And we need to wake up and realize it's deliberate. It's U.S. government policies encourage, support, train, and arm these Islamic nuts, the Sunni extremist terrorist groups, to do what they did in Paris, Benghazi, and right here at home in San Bernardino, California. When Americans wake up, they're going to realize terrorism is a U.S. homegrown industry that supports the giants, Raytheon, Boeing, Lockheed Martin. We have the slowest growing recovery out of all past 11 recoveries. The GDP is pathetic. It's terrible. 2% growth. And now we're losing our oil industry with prices just collapsing. That means no investment. And when you don't invest and the big companies pull back on investing and building, and it's just terrible. Oil, if we lose oil, that's it. And we're starting to lose it. So median incomes have already dropped by 8% since Obama became president. Imagine if we start losing the oils, and we have. Look at the amount of people that have been laid off in the oil industry, not to mention coal industry just because of EPA, the stuff that Obama put on oil and coal. So he desperately needs these U.S. arms industry to take up the slack in this economy, especially the full-time jobs. And there's just no question to it. And he also needs terrorism. He uses a weapon because he wants to export terrorism to the Russian and Chinese population to destabilize Russia and China. Look how Washington used Ukraine and Syria. They want to identify for Europe, hey, look at Russia. Look how dangerous they can be. Do you think Kennedy or anybody else or Clinton or anybody else would let Putin go into Ukraine or go into Syria? Are you kidding? But Obama did because he wanted Europe to understand we're coming to a war. We're preparing for war right now. And you better be with us. So he's using terrorism to destabilize Russia and China, their populations. And he's showing Europe with Putin, hey, we're going to be at war. Don't you think you're better off with us? Let's take a look at some of the stocks. The market's down only 159 points. We should be down about 400 points right now. We're oil when it dropped through 30, but we're not. They're trying to support the oil price. This is why you want to be a gang member. And I swear, what numbers I'm giving you are true. You can go to my site right now, philsgang.com, and you click on Watch Live. It'll be archived for tonight if you can't. I want to show you something. Oil. OIL. Oil is the symbol. Oil stock, if you're going to buy oil stock. Look at the chart. It turned from green to red. And you can see it clearly right here. Turned from green to red. Matter of fact, I'll even give you the date so you know. Turned from green to red. The first day it was red, it was on November 6th. Oil has dropped. Oil has dropped 23%. So if you were a gang member, you had and you identified in your PT2 oil, that was one of your 5 stocks, and it turned from green to red, there was a 23% drop. You could have captured even 10% of that drop, you'd have been happy. Even just 10% of that drop, you'd have been happy. And it would be easy to do. Look at it. I'm not making this up. Take one of our own stocks, one of our 5 stocks that every day we work, every day for my gang. So they're always on the right side of it. When it turned from red to green, it went from $74 up to $82, red to green. On the upside, red to green. That's a 10% return. Then it turned from green to red. Look, you can see it right here. Green to red. Turned red at $78. Went down to $70. That's where it was today. That's another 10. 10 up, 10 down. Cut it in half. 5 up, 5 down. I'm not making this up. Not making it up. Look, home equity is no more retirement. It's not like our fathers and our grandfathers. They worked their whole life to pay off their homes because it was the retirement in their home. It was that equity that bring them through retirement. Those days are gone. It's not real estate anymore. Or is it your 401k? Those days are gone. You can't make money in a 401k. You got a bunch of gangsters and crooks who steal from you. Oh, we're going to manage your portfolio. Just charge you 1% of the assets. Oh, yeah. What about the other 3% they hide in the net asset value of the company? 401ks are dead. And buying stock to hold for long periods of time because you have dividends. What are you, nuts? You really think these rallies are sustainable? Didn't you learn about the .com rally and the housing con rally? You really think this one's sustainable, different? We'll be right back. Join my gang right now, Phil's gang.
Middle class economics works.
Works? Where? Show me where it works. You tell us the unemployment rate is 5.1%, and you only get to 5.1% by making sure people don't have a job. Think of August. August, The unemployment rate went down to 5.1% because 200,000 people couldn't find a job. If they found a job, our unemployment rate would be at 10%. Isn't this amazing? Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Aren't you sick of this stuff? Aren't you sick of these politicians? They keep lying to us. You know, Wall Street does too. And how many times have you said, boy, I hate Wall Street. I hate the stock market. But that's the best place in the world to make money. But you need a lesson. You need a lesson on how to invest. That's where I come in. Join my gang, philsgang.com. It's the best teaching format in the country when you want to learn how to invest in stocks. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Philsgang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Philsgang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Generally agree that monetary policy was not the main reason for the housing bubble.
What are you, nuts? Of course, monetary policy was the reason for the housing bubble. That's Ben Bernanke. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. He's lying. Listen to this. In December 2000, interest rates were 6.5%. Within the next 30 months, Bernanke dropped them down to 1%. Because of that, mortgage originations grew from 1.5 trillion to 5 trillion. That was by the end of 2003. The housing bubble was inflated, and it was continued being fueled by his policies, which eventually we saw mortgages that grew from 28 trillion mortgage to 50 trillion. He lied. But here's the important thing. We were able to take advantage of that here at Phil's Gang, and we were able to make money because of it. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. Remember, on May 29th and July 28th, I said to short the market. The market was going to experience a correction. How did I know? My PT2. Check it out. This is not a crash for us. We're experiencing a correction because we are now making money on our stocks because we're shorting it using our PT2 identified for us when they were pulling their money out, both in May and July, and we were right there to pull our money out too. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG.
Do you think gold is money?
No.
Gold's not money? You got to be kidding. That's Ron Paul asking Ben Bernanke. And of course, Ben Bernanke lied. Of course, gold is money. But here's what he doesn't want you to know. They've been suppressing gold, trying to push gold down because it competes with the dollar. The Federal Reserve doesn't sell gold. They sell dollars. Gold competes. Gold will dictate in a free market where interest rates should be. That's the last thing they want because they manipulate interest rates. Now, has your broker told you that? Has your planner told you that? No. Well, I told my gang that. I explained it to them, and we positioned ourselves to be in a perfect position for gold and copper as it dropped. That's why you want to join my gang, Phil's Gang. We're right on top of this. philsgang.com. Join today. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, this last 1,900-point drop in the stock market scared everybody. They called it a crash. But here at Phil's Gang, we call it an opportunity. Why? Because I taught my students how to read a chart. And here's the problem in this industry. You go somewhere to learn how to drive a car, but you never go anywhere to learn how to invest in a stock. Well, you'll do that here at Phil's Gang. Join my gang, philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
It's the fulcrum of weakness in this whole market. Yeah. And iron ore under 40. I mean, look, we have not had a big bankruptcy. No. Which is astounding. No. What I'm saying is let the bankruptcy death roll begin.
There's Kramer talking about the oil industry. Let the bankruptcy roll begin. Well, you saw what happened today. As soon as oil prices started to drop below $37, that's the critical, that's the base. Matter of fact, I told my gang this morning what we're looking for now is we're looking for oil to go the other way. If they hold it at $37, there's going to be a big short covering. Everybody who's shorting oil, they're going to have to turn and go the other way and buy it back. So we're going to watch it on our chart. So as soon as it turns from red to green, we'll be buying it. We're talking about how, again, terrorism no longer boosts oil prices. And Obama, he decided he had to boost terrorism, which is true. And he had to fund all the terrorism through Saudi Arabia and so forth. And that's why it's so funny when people thought, well, gee, why is he so friendly with Iran? Why won't he call them extremists? And why? Now, there's your answer. The economy has gone to hell. Now look at Raytheon, RTN. Go to my site. If you are a gang member, and here, let me give you the number, 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG. I would love to have you join the gang. Follow us. I just told you, and it's not a lie, I showed you Schlumberger, 11% drop. Another oil, WFT, 14%. Oil itself, 22%. Here's Raytheon. Go the other way. It turned from red to green. Right here. See it? Red to green. And it had, when it turned from red to green, it had you have underneath it these lines that cross. And as soon as it turns from red to green, you got to go to get a confirmation. Just look below. As long as the red line crosses up through yellow, that's your confirmation that you got enough activity, you got enough stock that's trading, investing, that it will be sustainable. And then you buy. Now, let's think about this. It went up. Raytheon, 22%. So if you're a gang member, that was one of your stocks, one of the 5 stocks, that's a 22% gain. Let's say you caught 10% of it. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? It works. Look, let's think about it. We're talking about terrorism. We're talking about that being serious, but I've been saying more serious than terrorism is retiring, because no longer can we depend on equity in our homes. That's going to be our base, our retirement base. Those days are gone forever. 401ks, that's a racket. They're going to steal from you. They always do every day. But here's the real problem. These rallies, 200% rally. 200% rally since 2009 was not driven by earnings growth or by new technology from research and development. They don't plow their profits into research and development. And when they borrow money to buy their own stock, it's all to push their stocks higher. So the CEOs make more money on their stock options. I mean, it's unbelievable. This is what's going on. So my point is, a 200% rally is not sustainable because it's not being driven by the right thing, growth. It no longer happens. They're not out even trying to find new technologies. They're not even trying to grow the companies. They're not doing mergers and acquisitions. This 200% rally was driven by $85 billion a month, printing $85 billion a month to buy treasuries to force people into the stock market that created our third bubble, just like the 2 previous bubbles. Those 2 previous bubbles, people got whacked twice. First, $5 trillion loss. The 401k people lost a lot of money. Then $7 trillion in the second one, the dot-com with real estate and stock. So let's think about it. They printed $85 billion a month for this third bubble now, to go in and plow it into stocks to create a third bubble, just like the 2 previous bubbles. The 2 previous bubbles, when it cracked, stocks dropped more than 50%. This time it's going to even be worse because of the size of this bubble. You put it up on a chart and see and draw a line between the 2000 bubble, 2008, and look where this bubble is. Because see, there in 2000, 2008, those two bubbles, they didn't have this quantitative easing. They didn't have the stock buyback, the stock buybacks. This bubble has more than doubled. Now, here's the real problem. Here's the sad part for the 77 million people, baby boomers, who are heading towards retirement. They stayed on the sideline after they got whacked. They stayed on the sideline. They missed out on a 200% rally. They forfeited a nice annual return of 10% annually. If they stayed in, if they got back in, instead they got 1/3% of annual growth. Example. Take a 52-year-old baby boomer who saved, let's say he said he saved $100,000. He had it in the stock market in 2000. He saved it, had it in the market. If it grew 10%, you annualize 10% to where he is today, you'd have $345,000 for retirement. That's just $100,000. I'm talking year 2000. After eating the two losses, you still have $345,000. But they decided no, they're not going to stay in the market. They're genius planners and money managers. When they heard them say, "I just want to keep my principal. Want to keep my principal. I want to be safe," instead of explaining to them that is dangerous, they went right along with them because they make more commissions, much more commissions, putting you in fixed income products. They can really screw you, especially on annuities. Oh, you never lose more money when it goes. You never lose money when it goes down. You only make money when it's up. I love that one. They're printing what made the 200% bubble was $33,000 a second of printing money. They're printing $33,000 every second to push into the stock market. That's what created the bubble, not growth, not earnings, not new technology. You got to get that in your head, or otherwise that you think this bubble is solid. You think that this is sustainable. And CNBC and Aunt B from the Fed have taken parking space in people's head. They really believe this bubble we're in is different this time. It's sustainable. And they're not thinking. What sustainable, what pushed this bubble is $2 million a minute. Or $33,000 a second. 24 hours a day. That's what pushed it up 200%. Now, I'm not saying printing is bad, but it's okay for short periods of time to push investors out of bonds, to get them into the stock market. But for 9 years? What, are you nuts? This is creating the mother lode of all bubbles. And people don't get it. They don't get it. How can you have 9 years of printing money, $2 million a minute, push it into stocks? How is it sustainable? Would someone please tell me that? Are you kidding? And these people you see on CNBC, they're a pack of liars. They're financial terrorists. They're financial terrorists on CNBC. They don't have the long noses. They don't have the beards. They don't run around on camels. They're worst. They're worse. At least the other terrorists, they take a risk. They can be riding a camel down the middle of their sandbox there, and some missile from some aircraft carrier in Hawaii could be shot and hit them and kill them. At least they're taking a risk. These financial terrorists, no risk on Wall Street. There is not enough real growth to sustain the rally that we're in. Don't you get that? That's why you got to join the gang. Now, you may think, I know green and red is Christmas. Everybody thinks green and red is Christmas. But think of green and red is going to you become a gang member so you can hold on what you have. At least hold on what you have. Join my gang right now. 877-600-GANG. Denise is right there to take your call, and so is Steven.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Phil's Gang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Phil's Gang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals in all.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's been taken care of. We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. You know, on May 29th, I warned that a stock market crash was coming. I also warned in July. Both times, I was watching my technology, my PT2 chart, and it turned from green to red. Both in May and July, we had substantial warnings. We saw the industrials fall. We saw that the market, the Chinese market was falling, was getting worse. Oil was falling. Copper was falling. Everything was falling. But again, CNBC was telling you, hey, things are cheap. Diversify. Everything's wonderful. But my chart was giving me something different. And on both those occasions, both in May and July, I told my gang, let's short the stock market now, because my PT2 chart indicated a sell-off was coming in. And we did. And we had a wonderful ride all the way down. Join my gang, Phil's Gang.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Middle class economics works.
Works? Where? Show me where it works. You tell us the unemployment rate is 5.1%, and you only get to 5.1% by making sure people don't have a job. Think of August. August, the unemployment rate went down to 5.1% because 200,000 people couldn't find a job. If they found a job, our unemployment rate would be at 10%. Isn't this amazing? Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Aren't you sick of this stuff? Aren't you sick of these politicians? They keep lying to us. And you know, Wall Street does too. And how many times have you said, boy, I hate Wall Street. I hate the stock market. But that's the best place in the world to make money. But you need a lesson. You need a lesson on how to invest. That's where I come in. Join my gang, philsgang.com. It's the best teaching format in the country when you want to learn how to invest in stocks. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by Phil's Talking Trader Stock Charts.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay. You know, we talk about St. Jude's every day, and we ask you to join the gang. Now, I've given you today, these are real live stocks. I showed you Schlumberger, the returns on Schlumberger, the returns on oil, Raytheon, you can take a look at them. And I'll give you some of the five stocks. When we shorted IBM, 15%. We shorted Intel back in June, 14%. Shorted Goldman Sachs back in June, 14%. I mean, these are, and here's Caterpillar, another a 24% on that short, and Schlumberger 20%, and then of course we went long when the trend changed and we were short again. You got to learn how to go short, and if you just stay with the same 5 stocks that we have every day, that I work with you every day, and we tell you when to go short, show you how to do it, so easy. And it's the same 5 stocks. You don't have to go learn all this crap about all these stocks. It's nonsense. Every stock, if you have an S&P 500 stock or a Dow 30 stock or S&P 100 stock, they're all the same. It's the same investor group to go and buy these popular stocks. Whether you do Facebook or whether you do Starbucks or whether you do Intel, whether you do, it's the same group. Apple, you get a good name brand stock, good name, you get a brand name, and they are the institutions who make it go up. They're the ones who put money in and push it up. But that wasn't good enough. They used to put money in only if earnings went up. If companies' top-line sales increased, their overhead came down, and then you had earnings. But they decided to do away with earnings in 2009. Just do quantitative easing. And here's what gets me. Listen to this moron.
It would be extremely unfair to tens of millions of Americans who are working longer hours for lower wages. It would be terribly unfair to middle-class families who today cannot afford to send their kids to college.
Well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is income inequality? Who was in charge when they came up with these goofy plans? Who was in charge? It was Sanders. He's the one. The Democrats. He sits there and he's got the gall to sit there and talk about income inequality, when it was guys like him in Congress that caused the income inequality through quantitative easing. Now, like I said, quantitative easing is fine for short periods of time, but not for 9 years, because there's no way you can avoid a bubble. There is no way. Impossible. So you got to just keep that thing going and keep pumping it and pumping it. It's not sustainable, and that's what they're doing right now. So you want to be in position so you can take advantage of it. You didn't take advantage of it with the dot-com crash. You didn't take advantage of it with the housing crash with the stock market during that point. Did you short? Did your planner have you short? No. You lost 50% of your money. It's incredible how these planners and money managers didn't go to jail. How could you lose 50%? Sit there and lose half of your money with a manager. He's not telling you. Look, all I can tell you is this. Right now, we have a big crisis. We have 77 million baby boomers. About 72.2% have only $25,000. That's it for retirement. That's it. You got to protect what you have now, what you have left, and start building it. That's what I will do. I work with my gang every day to do that. At the end of a month, if you don't like what you see, then you just leave, and that's it. You invested $49.95 in yourself. All I ask if you make money, to send to St. Jude, go to their Partners in Hope program, write them a check, send it directly to St. Jude, not to us, and to help St. Jude. So we're going to reach out and help you right now. I'll give you the number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, so you're ready when this bubble pops, just like the dot-com, just like the housing con, you'll be ready. This is going to be much worse than those two. Much worse than those two. Why did people think that we're going to be so lucky that this is not going to end like the tech bubble or the housing bubble? Especially when this whole bubble was not driven by companies expanding or growing or making money. It was all driven by printed money to make sure people got out of bonds and went to the stock market, called quantitative easing. The stock market's hovering near an all-time high. All-time high. How could that be? The stock market's at an all-time high when we have an economy that's not growing. We have an anemic growth of 2% GDP. And so you're telling me a 200% gain in a rally is going to be sustained by 2% growth, economic growth. Are you nuts? But let's take advantage of it. Let's take advantage of it. Just like we did here. Look, right here, Schlumberger. We shorted Schlumberger in June. We got out in August. That's 20%. 20%. Watch you drop. Just all you have to do is watch the color code. We're here every day to help you. So we got the stock market hovering near an all-time high, in spite of the fact that our economy is growing at an anemic rate of 2%, which is not, so it's not sustainable. The gains aren't based on real growth or companies expanding. What are you, nuts? All that's pushing these stocks up nearing all-time high is printed money, 0%. So if she's saying she's going to raise rates now, is she nuts? The economic growth is a fraud. The economic growth that they keep talking about, why they're going to raise rates, is a fraud. We don't have economic growth. We have a propping up. We have a fraud. We have printed money. And if you were in the market, I never understood. People, I'm staying out of the market. It's a fraud. What? That's why you want to be in it. Like I say, you buy insurance, health insurance. There's no bigger fraud than health insurance. You buy car insurance. You talk about car insurance industry. That's all fraud. How about the agricultural industry? With their subsidy, you talk about fraud, but you still eat. But you stayed out of the stock market during the 200% rally, and it's not your fault because you had some dummy advisor listen to you when you said, I just want to protect what I have left. They protected you all right. Now you're going to get your, with zero interest rates, how could they put you in anything that's a fixed income with low interest rates to rip your face off? Okay, they got you into bonds, but now you're going to get your face ripped off with bonds as soon as they start raising rates. See, Obama knows that this is not sustainable. He knows we're in deep debt. He knows he's got to keep pumping the stock market up. He's got to keep printing this money to keep this thing going. But he needs an industry. He needs something because the oil industry is falling apart. And that's why he's relying on terrorism. Because he realized it used to be when you had terrorism, wow, oil prices would take off. We'd get all kinds of investing. Are you kidding? Provided all the best jobs. But that's not happening anymore. So instead he said, well, I'll boost terrorism. I'll increase terrorism and I'll fund it. And I'll do all the funding through Saudi Arabia and all the other countries in the sandbox. And if you don't believe that, then you're not studying anything, I guess. I guess you're watching football games every Saturday and Sunday, and you're not, and you don't care about the economy. Let's talk about emerging markets. I gang by gang, emerging markets. It turned from green to red at $34, okay, and 29 cents. Right now it's about $32.56. It turned from green to red. Emerging markets. If they raise rates, that's a 5% return. Just doing nothing. 5%. You had a 5% return right there. Just 5% looking at going from green to red if you use the PT2. So that's what you want to be. You want to be in that position. Look, there's nothing better than the stock market. But right now, think about the baby boomers. What are they going to do? 77 million of them have $25,000 at most. They're going to have to work the rest of their lives. You have to work. You're going to be going to work at 80 years old. Now, we can help you make up some of it. Can't help you all of it, but I certainly can help make up some of it. Remember, you needed 11 times your annual income. You didn't get that through a 401k. What do you think, Social Security is going to help you? Join my gang. Call right now. 877-600-GANG. Denise and Steve. Either one will talk to you. Get you signed up.